Hello, everyone. Welcome to Estafet. And guess who is there with us today? A regression therapist with drum, so unique in many ways. An engineer who has worked in medical industry, who brings the ancient tradition of shamanism into the regression, and who is as old and as young, being the founder member of Earth at very, very young age.
At that time, yes, 2006.
Yes, meet Tülin Etyemez Schimberg. Welcome, Tülin.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Shazini, for your nice words. Yes,
I would
I'm
like,
quite one of the how to say, the longest in the earth from the beginning. And not in the earth, but in the Earth Association.
that time you were the youngest member of Earth as a founder member.
Yeah, we had our first meeting in Frankfurt 2006. So yeah, it was almost 19 years ago. So I'm 53 now, so I was quite young.
And we would like to see you first with the drum. That's how associate with you as a regression. Yeah, thank you. And it's very, very pretty, very, very beautiful
Yeah,
drum.
it's this is actually Vivian Rose Hans' daughter made those picture for me because those are my power animals. And with time, with my journeys and my regression work, so I was getting more additional tiger, eagle, and life of tree. I love it. It is a part of my journey actually.
And it's very beautiful. Trisha Caetano has introduced you for the next Exofet. And when she introduced you, she had a very beautiful, the way she described Trisha's word, I would say, Tülin is a woman of such depth and magnitude. And her awareness, her understanding, her capacity for holding the space for everyone is exceptional. She brought shamanism into her work, but that's only just a part of it. She is a gift.
And I feel privileged to meet such those pioneers, and they are really models to share their knowledge. So when my teachers, Jeff Ryan and Janet Cunningham from USA, from the World Regression Institute, they assign us some homeworks, some reading assignments, and one of them was Hans Tendam book about the reincarnation. Then I contact with Hans. Then I order his book. Hans contacted me later saying that, oh, in Frankfurt, we are therapists coming together and we are going to make an association. And would you like to join to the board? So I was kind of really surprised. And because I didn't know Hans and I didn't know about anything about regression therapy or other therapists and etc. So it was a big unknown. So then I said to one of our colleagues, Yasemin Tokatlı, who is also a founder member and still active in Earth. So I said to Hans, if you accept two of us together, then we accept your offer. So we went to Frankfurt, and there were Roger Wolger, Hans Tandam, and Marion was there. Christopher from Germany, he was there. So, and those all lovely people, it's really expanded my knowledge and my understanding and my perspective. And it was an amazing 8 days we had all together. I was like a sponge. I was like observing everything, sucking everything. But I think it is really, for me, it's a privilege to learn from them. And see, we were youngest. Now we become the older brothers and sisters. Time goes quite fast. So we, as
Still
in
count you
Earth, we
young.
created a history together.
Yes. And you bring a very, very charming part to Earth, the association. Dylan, I would first start with Trisha's question. Who is Tülin? And what created this amazing human being? How did this get started?
Yeah, it's so difficult to say who am I. I may say that I'm Tülin Etyemez from Turkey, or I was born in a fisherman village, and I'm daughter of somebody. But it's a kind of I actually the journey is for me. It was all the time discovering who I was not. So we had all identities and personalities, but I was kind of searching my life. There should be more, there should be something beyond. I'm a kind of adventurous, I'm a kind of, I must say, a seeker. I'm really seeking in life and evolving, and always I'm kind of stubborn, but from the other side, very curious person. I want to know, and I become motivated when I share because I learn by doing and by explaining, by teaching the others. So I may say, yeah, I'm an adventurous and curious seeker in life.
That's very beautiful. Very beautiful way you have put it across, Tülin.
That's why, like, I was all the time going beyond. I was
Mm.
scared, but somehow the courage was there all the time. So I was like, to get rid of that fear, I need to go beyond what is behind. So I was trembling, but I always challenge myself to go further. And I may say also that process in time, because I'm in regression therapy for 20 years now. So I, at the end, it evolved me a kind of detective, going all the details and etc. And I have engineering background that made me searching for mechanism and understanding. For me, yeah, it made me more, when I have connection, when I have understanding, then I love to share.
And how did you roll regression and shamanism together?
Yeah, it all started in my childhood. I was actually experiencing a lot, so I wanted to give a meaning to understand what was happening to me. And in years when it was sleeping, so it was there, but somehow, in life there are more things. Like, I was in university, but yeah, a curiosity was all the time with somewhere behind. And but after studying engineering, I get interested with parapsychology and theosophy, because the religion which I was born into, it was not really helping me um, understanding. So I was kind of searching about different philosophies and understanding in a very young age. So at the age of 21, I met with Billy Foundation and Metapsychic Investigations Association in Istanbul. And it really opened me another chapter, another perspective. Uh, then I studied geology. Time whenever I was touching the rocks and stones, I had a different communication with it, but I didn't know what was it. So I entered to the regression field as a hobby. I was reading books about reincarnation cases, Ivan Stevenson's cases in Turkey and Thailand, and etc. Then, when I find myself in the regression therapy with Jeff and Janet, the very, very first session I ever get a past life was in a American Indian life, and it was very shamanistic. It was in the nature. So it was really eye-opening for me. Oh, this is really kind of a lot of connection. My brain cells really was very happy to see. Oh, all my natural connections, all those feelings, there is something personal. Regression therapy process brought me a lot of shamanistic past life. Some of them woman life, some of them man life, some of them I was young, or I was killed or punished a lot because something I did wrong, or something I didn't do wrong, but it was actually not accepted. So I think in life also I find myself so many times in the situation that I was not normal, or I was not belong to the majority, but I was kind of a nice girl but strange. So then by searching all those issues and healing my traumas brought me all those shamanic lives. Then I figured out I brought a lot of unfinished issues from those lives to here. And my chance was when I was organizing deep memory process teachings with Roger Wolger in Turkey. We had a lot of time for chatting about meaning of those past lives we were seeing during the training. And then he was giving a lot of information about me. What is shamanism? What are the transpersonal process and transpersonal experiences? We were talking about a lot of Stanislav Grof's books, which was really changing my life, and it was giving me different perspective. And at the end, it was a really turnover in my life. So what I figured out, drum, as you see here, whenever you are beating the drum 220 beats per minute, it's putting the brain waves directly to the alpha state, which is the state we are looking for in the regression. So then I figured out, oh, because I'm an engineer, I love shortcuts. I don't want all those kind of turnings. I want to go straightly to the point. So I figured that I don't need to spend too much longer induction to put the person to the state or bringing there. It makes my job more easier. And shaman says the drum is the horse of the shaman. So I figured that the knowledge is there. And so I know that regression therapy is very deep and so to the point. Why I don't combine that ancient map to the current life, the modern life culture and modern life understanding to make it easier. Started together with Juanita Pudifut, who was at that time assistant of Roger Wilger. And after I organized the fourth regression World Congress in Turkey, when I went to England, Juanita said, "Oh, I will introduce you a shaman," and who was Leo Rutherford. Then I organized a lot of workshops with Leo and Juanita. So I saw there is a map, there is a pathway, but always the map shows you some structure, but whenever you are on the road, whatever you experience also can be totally different. So then those giving more understanding and meanings, bringing to the practice. So because my first role when I was in the Earth's board, to bring the therapists together and organizing the yearly meetings. And later on, it evolved to the annual convention and the world congresses. So each time I had to search also for the different speakers, different teachers to teach something different. Then I was also thinking, what can I do something different? But actually the clue was already there because I knew a lot. I brought a lot of, I would say, knowledge also from those experiences. I always also say to my colleagues, okay, we suffered a lot, or we died or killed and um, sacrificed and anything, we will do this time this work with fun. So that's
Yes.
why I see that shamanic work also brings some different taste and some enjoyment and some fun. And like, I learned trance dance from my teacher Leo, but then I was kind of thinking and saying to myself, why I don't use trance dance to journey to the past life. So this is kind of, trance dance is a structure coming from the shamanic work, but it was my own improvisation to bring the person to the past life and journey through the trance dance. So it is kind of Tülinish something.
I like this word, Tulinish. So where is this Tulinish workshop are happening?
Yeah, I came to India so many times, and even in Nepal we were together. Some of the times I do public workshops, and sometimes I also love to teach to the colleagues my techniques. And recently, I'm also a leader of worldly wide research about menstrual pain, the effectiveness of the regression therapy on the menstruation problems. So that gave me a lot of experience about working with women, working with abortion, miscarriages, unborn babies, myomas, cysts, and womb problems. So actually, I follow the flow and I say, let's, what is next now? Then the life always bring me something on front of me. Like 3 years ago, I participated a cacao ceremony, and then I was my intention. What's next? Which direction I need to go? Okay, I'm a teacher. I have my unicorn transformational studies. I'm teaching to the professional. But then my thing is, what is next? I am kind of seeking what is next. Old woman and young woman appeared in my journey. And the young one said, I'm so wounded in my womb. So all those sexual abuses or being child brides and losing the babies, miscarriages, abortions, or unwanted sexual life, or expecting being a boy but born as a girl, and all those self-value issues and self-confidence issues, and still in the world as a man and woman they struggle in different ways. So I was really searching, then how can I help the feminine part, because I know that there are lots of workshops going on, increase your femininity and etc. Then I figured that being feminine doesn't need to be all those lipsticks and etc. or how fancy you are or whatever you are wearing. It's coming from your nature, and sometimes those natures really stuck or suppressed. So nowadays I'm more focused to teach, and I'm invited again to Romania. I'm invited to India for shamanic and ancestor works as well. And let's see. And we are going to have in October a beautiful convention at Marmaris in Turkey. So I'm quite busy now organizing and setting up of that convention, because I'm living very nearby to the place, and I'm in the program committee. So I'm both program committee and research committee. It's really, those are the areas I can use my inspiration, my knowledge. So
And
yeah,
we're really
it's
looking
quite
forward,
busy schedule.
and we are really looking forward to that convention, which is happening in Marmaris now. I've seen you in India. I've seen you in Netherlands. And I've seen you some pictures in Vietnam and Nepal. Whichever country you go, you you wear that attire of that country and you just look the same.
I think it's a kind of searching my own parts. And whenever I find something from the past, it's also, shaman says when you heal the present, it heals the past and the future. So I really respect cultures and I'm so curious to learn about the culture. And the best thing is when you are there over me, it's a kind of dressing the energy of the culture. So I think it brings us a lot of memories from the past because when I was, for example, in Vietnam, I remember one of my strongest past lives. I was at that time, I had a tremor. My hands were shaking all the time, and I was not able to control. Whenever I went to the neurologist, they gave me medicine which was making me frozen like a zombie. Okay, my hands were not shaking, but I was also very emotional, no emotion. Then I said to myself, no, I need to know why my hands were shaking. So I figured out that past life from the Vietnam, actually as a pilot, I was holding the console and
Mm.
where I was looking, I was actually crashing down. That's why I was frozen and my hands were shaking because as a pilot, it was a airplane crash.
And you're trying to.
After that session, it was
Mm.
so powerful. All my tremblings are gone. So what I figured out when I was in Vietnam, oh my God, that airplane crash was in Vietnam, and I had a Vietnamese lover. When I was dressing as Vietnamese woman, it was
Mm.
healing my past life as a man who was in love with a Vietnamese woman. Then I figured that it brought me more joy, more life, or more. It was a kind of unifying again. It was a part was waiting to resolve and how you say melt it or dissolve in the energy. So when I go to cultures, then I just kind of say, oh, what are the gifts I will find for myself? In India, I was impressed and amazed with the beauty and the colors of the Indian ladies, how self confident with their bodies. And when I'm there, I'm kind of really enjoying myself because it's also touching something within me. So, like, I find it as an adventure, but it's also kind of detective part, all the time sneaking into the details and okay, what's going on here? What I need to understand and get from here, which is making me actually more whole, more integrated. So then I love all the culture and the world, so much variation. Such I like the Louis Armstrong. What a wonderful world. Okay, we make it so painful, difficult, and etc. But this time, this life, I say, okay, maybe I had so many past lives, but the best time, the best life is now with this understanding. And my teacher, Roger Volger, was saying that we are all doing all this regression work and all those transformational work to die better. Now, in this life, I want to die more awareness, more whole as much as I do. When I look back, I may say, wow, yeah, it was a good
Good,
one.
good job. So, what have been your challenges in this particular life, or some fears? Like you're like a curious child, you have fought with the courage to go beyond, but in that journey there must be some challenges where you must have thought what to do, what not to do.
You know, since I was coming from the medical environment, I was more skeptical at the beginning. So it took time for me to get more confidence with my intuition, because the medical world says to you there must be, categories and etc. And interestingly, I was a clinical research manager for one of the antidepressants, which is very widely used in Turkey and in the world as well. So my challenge was at that time, one part, your intuition and your experiences are pulling you to this side, but the logical mind says, what are you doing, and or where are you going? So I figured out one part of me quite conservative, but the another part me very rebellion. That conservative and rebellion part was challenging themselves, and it was creating a lot of energy loss at the beginning. So, but what I happened, I was reading Stanislav Grof's book, Psychology of the Future, and there was a paragraph which changed my life totally, because Stanislav Grof is also a Czechoslovakian psychiatrist. He says that, let's imagine you are driving a car and your car is leaking oil and your oil lamp is flashing, giving you signal, something wrong, no oil in the system anymore. So you bring your car to the repairman and they say to you, Tülin, don't worry, we cut the signal cables. You will not see that flashing light signal anymore. So he was describing, saying that you continue drive to your car without seeing that oil flashing. So all those, the mechanism, the system is getting more chronicle. So it was a kind of aha point for me. Oh my God, for 12 years in the pharmaceutical industry, I was just cutting the cables, but I want to know why this car is leaking oil. Okay, it started as a hobby, and because then I had a kind of a very busy life and good salaries and etc. But then that moment, it was a really turning point. It was an easy decision, but I may say I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, great. We are also glad you did it, Tülin.
But I learned organizing big events in that corporate life. I had a lot of, challenges with the professors and associate professors in the medical environment, and I learned how to deal with them. So how to get respect, or how you can put the things from the other side, from the other approaches. So it was helping me because it was a kind of man-dominated environment. So when I quit pharmaceutical industry, I started to get, so not only the woman clients, but men clients from the corporate life were saying that, oh, I cannot be hypnosis and etc. Then I was talking from their language, saying that I'm not working with hypnosis. I was kind of saying that when there is a problem, you are under the hypnosis of your problem, your issue. I'm working with taking you out from the hypnosis of your problem. Then they were giving more chance to it. So maybe because, I was all the time trying to convince my logical mind, maybe it is really helping with so much people. We always have logic and intuition together. Then I figured that it has to be not suppressed or put somewhere else. It has to go together.
You have been the founder member of Earth with the vision and the purpose. And now, when you see Earth growing each day, every country, what is your vision now for Earth? And what is the advice for out.
To be honest, when it was the beginning, I didn't expect going further almost 20 years. Because we started with 30 people and different nationalities, different understanding. But the aim was everybody was so happy, that feeling of not being alone, I think, and also feeling of sharing. I think it was a motivation of Earth, sharing, teaching, and do it better. I saw at that time how Roger Woolger, Hans Stendam, and Marion Boone, also I think Barbara from Belgium, Switzerland, a colleague was not really doing or something really proper, but how gently they were giving their feedbacks in a very gentle way to make that person better or to think about what he was doing. So after observing this, then I said, oh, bringing all those, we don't have every time the best and etc. Sometimes you understand how much you know by seeing something not really right. That's why I think I believe in that purpose of Earth, bringing, combining, and sharing and improving. Now we have more than 400 members, and I see Earth yearly meetings as a chance to work on myself as well. We have a very busy life, sometimes not easy to come with the colleagues and etc. to do your own personal work. So when we are together, we do group workshop, group exercises, we do demo clients, we do spare exercises. So it gives me still a kind of continuation of working on myself, which I love it very much. Then I see it as an opportunity. So I think the Earth, you know, to know better, to share, and also we have a history. When I see those friends and colleagues once a year, yeah, it is a very nice feeling that we have also a continuation together.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what is your message for fellow therapists?
I think the thing is, when we do our sessions, we are not the healers. We are just the witnesses. And Elias, the client is working that road with their own power and encouragement of their own effort. And then we are just, you know, accompanying them to walking that healing pathway. And each client is unique. So when we extend our toolbox, then we can really ask the right questions, or sometimes do the right technique for that client, because each client is unique. So my aim, my slogan is body knows, body remembers. You can ask to the body. And another slogan, if something is not working, change it. So expand your knowledge and etc. So never give up and never say that whatever you know it's enough for you. So there are always beyond, and we are touching those souls, spiritual evolvement of those souls. It has a lot of responsibility. So we need to do our best, but also we need to enjoy it. So I say enjoy, keep enjoying it.
Tülin, any of the story of your client, which you say I will always remember, and some story from your client session?
It was 20 years ago. I received a client which had uncontrolled body movements. I was very unexperienced, especially about the attachments. The guy came inside. He was saying that bad bad Atatürk. He's a bad man. Then he was holding his hand, saying that I didn't say that. I didn't say it. Atatürk is a very good man. I didn't mean it. So, but his eyes were changing and saying that bad Atatürk, bad Atatürk. Atatürk is a founder of our country. I was, oh my God, what I'm going to do? And I learned that the client was thinking if he goes away for a week, everything will be healed. So I did my best to communicate or try to separate the part which was creating that bad Atatürk, angry looking, and it was a kind of sabotator. And the client had a really difficulty to control that part. And at the end, a story came out. Actually, in the past life, in the Gallipoli, all those Australian and New Zealand soldiers during the First World War, they came to Turkey and they wanted to pass to the Dardanelles channels to go to Istanbul to help to the British soldier at that time. So in the past life, he was a Turkish soldier. That one who was saying that bad Atatürk was actually, it's a New Zealand soldier who died in the Gallipoli. Both of the soldiers, they just stood up and looked at each other, and both of them were feeling pity. The Turkish one who was shooting didn't want to kill the other one, but if he didn't shoot, he would be killed himself. So that New Zealand Anzac soldier was very angry to be killed and saying that at the end, all soldiers of that Commander Atatürk didn't let us pass through to the Istanbul. That's why it was bad Atatürk. So it was a karmic attachment.
Yes.
And it was my knowledge at that time. I couldn't know what to do. But what I said to them, I couldn't resolve it. I took the story out, but that soldier was very stubborn. Then I said, I give 1 week, both of you, think about it. I said to the Anzac soldier, you are stuck. You cannot go. You are in the spiritual realm, and I can help you. I give you 1 week to think about it. Then, and I said to the client as well, because client also had a hook. He didn't want to send it away because he had second advantages of it. But I said I finished the session by giving the attachment and the client 1 week, one week to think about it. And I was also thinking, what can I do better to resolve this? Then when I started the next session after 1 week, because the client was saying to me, oh, I really, want to rest a week. Then it will be changing. Then I learned to listen my client much better at that time, because the clue was in the word of the client. Then I made the client rest 5 minutes. I said, in this 5 minutes, I will let you rest, and you will be kind of relaxed as if you are rested as a week. And after I said, invite the soldier. Then it was like introducing that attachment to the family who left behind and taking the energy exchange and etc. But I didn't know how to work with the body at that time. But it was a really good learning for me to find other ways, the searching for the other options, searching for the whatever it is, go beyond. So I said to him, we need to continue the sessions, come back. but he didn't show up. So what happened after 20 years? He found me back. He told me after our session, it didn't happen anymore, that uncontrolled movements or speech, uncontrolled talking didn't happen anymore. But I had one thing to continue searching the hook, because we sent the attachment, but the hook stayed with the client, which was I was not really happy. Funny thing that after 20 years, we did session on the phone, and I had a chance to complete whatever unfinished 20 years ago. So it is really a teaching client for me.
That's really wonderful. And that you still remember to release that hook even after 20 years.
Yeah, because I always give that case as an example to my student when I'm teaching.
You're wonderful, Tülin. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much
you.
for your time. I really, really enjoyed, and I'm sure that everybody is going to enjoy this. And now is the time to announce who is next.
Next one I suggest is Anita Grunendijk from Netherlands.
Wow. And why do you choose that?
The thing is, when we were in Frankfurt, Anita was sitting next to me. She's also engineer, and like me, and we become quite good friends since the beginning. Then we discover so many past life together also in the past. What I amaze in Anita, she is doing so many things effortless. So I learned a lot of things that, I had a kind of belief system saying that, the valuable things has to be hard. You need to do hard work. Then it could be successful. I'm quite amazed to see how you can do shortcuts, because Anita loves shortcuts to the point. So I learned that everything doesn't need to be so difficult. There are shortcuts and easy ways to go to your targets. And Anita used kinesiology with regression therapy. So yeah, it also changed my life. Really, it made my sessions more easier and shorter. But I know that not everybody knows Anita's work. She's a wonderful person, very clever, intelligent therapist. One of the therapists inspire me that not regression work doesn't need to be difficult.
And you said that it's a very unique thing. Even I'm hearing for the first time the work she is doing with regression. There's going to be a unique for us to listen to her.
Yeah. So I'm sure that she has a lot of things to tell to you. So we can learn a lot from Anita.
And what will be your question for her?
I may say how she met with kinesiology, and what was her point combining kinesiology with regression therapy, and also is there any ways that she has challenges or advantages being an engineer.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the interview, Tülin. It
Thank
was
you.
lovely talking to you.
Thank
And
you.
I'm sure for everybody who is going to listen this interview, going to laugh, going to enjoy and have fun along with your drum.
Yes.
Like to
Yes.
see the drum one more time. Thank you so much, Tülin. And lots
Yeah.
of love to you.
See you in Marmaris, and
Yeah.
it will be great convention. Enjoy, let's say enjoy. We will have deep work, fun, the sea and the nature all together. We will work, we will learn how we can work with the body and use the body as a tool. So that will be great convention. Join us.